What's up, everybody? It's your boy Adam, back at it. This time it's hashtag homeless, day 43. And, I made some predictions yesterday that, came true, believe it or not. Yesterday was my first day at a new job. I walked all the way down there. It's a few miles. It takes over an hour to walk there. I get there only to find out that my job offer has been revoked because of the results of the background check. The same background check that I told the hiring manager what was going to come up, the same background check that when I filled out the background check, I filled in all the forms or all the form fields asking me before they run the check, what are we going to find? Can you explain what happened, etc.? So, corporate headquarters decided, nope, we can't hire him. He's public enemy number one. He said some mean things online. He went to prison for it. We cannot hire him. But somebody who works at the same store found out about this and was telling me that the people that they're hiring right now don't show up for work. They don't come in. They sit around and goof off all day and they don't do their job. They refuse to work weekends. They refuse to work other shifts. And he's kind of dumbfounded because, here you go. You got this clean-cut guy who's willing to work any shifts that are available, who's going to do a good job, who's going to try, who's going to go in and actually do his job. And no, he made a mistake, so we can't hire him. We're just going to hire a bunch of slackers and idiots who don't even show up for work. And we'll let them keep their job, but we won't hire this guy. So that's what happened to me yesterday. I went on a 10-mile walk for nothing. And so let this be a warning. Let this be a warning to all of you. If you speak out against the government, especially the people in charge right now, and you cross that line where it goes from free speech into committing an offense, your life is over. Your life is over. I am serving a life sentence for my crime. I will not be able to get a job. I'm going to be perpetually homeless, and I have a probation officer breathing down my neck saying, if you don't find a job, we're going to put you back in prison. So I'm facing literally going back to prison for the rest of my life because I can't find a job. And certainly, I'll be able to get a kitchen job making 30 cents an hour in the kitchen at a prison, but it is what it is. Do not cross that line. If you think you're going to mouth off, if you have a friend that likes to mouth off on social media, show them my story. I'm homeless. I lost everything I own. I lost my home, lost my vehicles. My children want nothing to do with me. Most of my friends that I've had since I was 18 years old turned their back on me and want nothing to do with me anymore. I can't get a job at Burger King. The woman that I was going to marry, she threw me out on my ass, made me homeless, doesn't want anything to do with me ever again. There's 20 other things that I could list as a consequence of making this stupid mistake. So let this be a warning to you that you will be paying for that mistake for the rest of your life. You will be serving a life sentence if you speak out against these people. If you're a Democrat, you can go burn down the city of Minneapolis. If you're a Democrat, you can go burn down our parks. You can pull monuments down. You can beat up cops. You can start riots, start fires, break windows, throw temper tantrums, all that stuff, and you're fine. But if you're on the wrong team, you use my example as what's going to happen to you if you step out of line. And I think, if you watched that complete shit show last night on national television where they paraded out this geriatric, dementia-riddled creep in front of the whole nation this guy should be in a nursing home, for crying out loud, and he's the leader of the free world, which makes you wonder who's really running this country, because that guy He can't even walk 100 feet without falling down. He has to be led around by his wife or Obama, or somebody has to take his hand. They showed footage after the debate last night. He couldn't even walk down the debate stairs in front of the stage without someone having to hold his hand and help him. And this is the guy that America picked to be in charge. Give me a break. The guy couldn't even fill a high school gym when he shows up to town to give a speech. Yet the other guy shows up and has a full stadium of people and twice as many people out in the parking lot who didn't get there early enough to get inside. Yet the guy who couldn't fill the high school gym, this dementia-riddled creep who sniffs little girls' hairs, sniffs little girls' hair and fondles them while the cameras are running. Like, what is going on, America? What is going on? Wow. That was amazing to watch that last night. And I didn't even want to. I didn't want to, but there's nothing else that I can really do while I'm sitting in that place. There's a curfew in that shelter at 9. I'm not allowed to go outside after 9 o'clock. I'm a almost 50-year-old grown man who cannot be outside after 9 o'clock. Not because the Department of Justice put any restrictions on me. It's because the shelter that I live in, if I stay outside after 9 p.m., I'll be locked out of the shelter and I would have to sleep outside with nothing but a t-shirt and jeans. They wouldn't even let me inside the shelter to get a backpack or to get my stuff or to get a tent or something so I could go pitch a tent out in the woods. I would literally have to sleep on a park bench with nothing but a t-shirt and jeans if I don't meet the curfew and show back up at the shelter on time. It's just another way that they treat you like you're a little kid. And I swear in some ways there's more rules at a homeless shelter than there are when you're in federal prison. I could stay up at night reading a book in federal prison and go to bed when I felt like I was tired. Here, Betty Bye time is 11 o'clock and you're not allowed to do anything but go to bed or you'll be kicked out. So I'm just going to calm down a notch because really what it boiled down to is that whole waste of time yesterday it set me in a bad mood. So let this be a warning to anybody who's sick and tired of what's going on. Keep your mouth shut, because if you say the wrong thing, granted, I know I went too far. I said things that were just despicable and vile, and I regretted saying the things that I said before any consequences came about. Friday night when I was arrested, when I went to bed that night, I was exhausted. I took my son out to dinner. Came home, I was asleep in a chair. The sun hadn't even gone down. I fell asleep at 7 p.m. I woke up at some point, went down to my bedroom in the basement, got on my phone for a few minutes until I could fall asleep, reading something, whatever. And my plan was to wake up the next day and purge all of that garbage off of social media and delete that account. Instead, the next morning, I was in a jail. And, there's a lot more to this story, and I'm going to tell it. Just bear with me. I need to have my paperwork in order to tell the story. And all of that paperwork is in a storage garage down in Pittsburgh. So I thought I'd be in Pittsburgh now. I don't know what's going on with being forced to move. Everything is just, I don't know. I keep asking God for help because I'm at the point right now where only a miracle from the Lord Jesus can save me. Only a miracle. The only way I'm ever going to get back on my feet, find a job, find a way to pay my bills, find a way to appease everybody that's riding me really hard right now. The only way that this is going to happen is a miracle from God. For the people who want to call me lazy, let's just, how many jobs have I applied to? I wrote this down for the show today. For my professional job search, which I started, I was released from federal prison on April 2nd of this year. It took 2 days to get home. So on April 2nd and April 3rd, I was in transit, going through all kinds of stuff. I was home on April 4th. April 4th was my first official day to not be in the system anymore. And that was a horrible day for a lot of reasons I'm not going to talk about. Every day for the next 6 weeks was an absolute nightmare from wake to sleep. I spent 3 weeks putting together my portfolio, starting on that day. And I started applying to professional jobs. In the meantime, I had paperwork that I had to get through the mail before I could go get a driver's license. My driver's license had expired in Pennsylvania a couple of months after my arrest. So I had to get my driver's license renewed and get it renewed here in the state of New York. There was paperwork that I needed to get through the mail before I could go to the DMV. It took 4 weeks for that paperwork to show up in the mail. It took 4 weeks of me having to ask the people who needed to send it multiple times until it finally came. The day after that paperwork came, I went to the DMV. Had no problem at the DMV because I came prepared. I had the proper paperwork in hand. They handed me a temporary license with no photo on it, and I had to wait 2 more weeks to get the photo ID in my hand. So that was 6 weeks that I did not have a photo ID from the day I got out of prison to the day I got my photo ID. And as a result, I can't go and look for local jobs here in Jamestown. So, because most of these jobs, they tell you, if we call you in for an interview, we need you to bring your paperwork, because if we hire you, you're going to do the paperwork right there on the spot, and you need a photo ID to get a job. In most cases, I might have been lucky enough to get an under-the-table job or something like that. But technically, I need a bona fide wage-earning job in order to satisfy the requirements of the probation I'm under. So it took 6 weeks to get that paperwork in hand. And on the very day that my driver's license arrived in the mail, it was also the day I was thrown out into the street to be homeless. She gave me 3 days to pack everything I own and get it all out of the apartment and get out of the apartment and out onto the street. So, keeping all of that in mind, 3 weeks after I got out of prison, between then and now, I've applied to 173 jobs. I've had 49 official rejections. 25 of those leads I've marked as being stale because they're so old and I haven't heard anything back from them. And I've had 4 interviews at 2 separate companies, 3 interviews at one company that I'm still in the running for getting the job at, and 1 interview at another company that decided to take a pass. For the general labor jobs here in Jamestown, I filled out 24 applications, got rejected by 5, went on 6 interviews out of those 24, and I've had 2 official job offers that were both rescinded after I was supposed to start, pretty much on the day that I was supposed to start. Now, keep in mind, I could not apply for any jobs locally for the first 6 weeks that I was out of prison. And like 2 or 3 weeks into going on this local job search, I was told by probation that I have to pack my bags and move to Pittsburgh. So I put that job search on hold. If I had not put that job search on hold, and if I could have started applying for these jobs the day I got out of prison, that would probably be up close to 200 or more job applications as well. Right now, I'm in the position of I'm applying to more jobs locally now. My goal is to apply to at least 10 today, but I have to spend most of the day with social services, going on more busy work appointments. Once I get off of this video, it's going to be about 4 or 5 hours of going to busy work appointments, filling out stacks of paperwork for social services, and going to other busy work meetings to show them that I'm looking for a job and show them that what I'm doing. And so that's going to be about 4 to 5 hours out of my day that I can't do anything. But in the 4 hours, 5 hours that I have left, I'm going to try and apply for at least 10 local jobs here in Jamestown. Because I'm done with the whole putting that on hold because I'm supposed to be moving to Pittsburgh. They're not telling me when I'm supposed to be moving to Pittsburgh. And ironically, my lawyer had to contact me about some other things regarding my case, and she offered to get involved with this because she even told me that what they're putting me through is unwarranted and uncalled for, and it's not fair, and that they're basically trying to set me up for failure, and that she wants to get involved and see if she can push and file motions to allow me to move to Texas, where I have a home that I could stay in while I'm trying to get on my feet. So all these things are swirling around. The 197, that's 197 job applications that I've filled out in the last, several weeks. Now that doesn't count people who have talked to me about doing freelance projects. It doesn't count recruiters who reached out to me with leads that I wouldn't be a good fit for, but that I responded to and hopefully can develop some sort of relationship with them if they do find a job that I would be qualified for. It is what it is. On top of all that, like I said, it took 2 days to get home from prison after April 2nd. Between that day and today, I redid my user experience portfolio, and you can find it easy enough if you dig. I'm redoing several prototypes for the purpose of my portfolio. Those can easily take 40 hours a piece. I rewrote several examples of code that I've done for different jobs to demonstrate things for job interviews to show off my code writing skills. I built a small photography website with a lead generation magnet and an automatic email list collector, which sends people who subscribe to it a link to download several free wallpaper images that I had to spend time putting together a website for you to go and download those. I also set up a photography store, and I've unlocked access to probably 100 different online accounts that I lost while I was in prison. I've recovered terabytes of data that I had lost access to. Like I said, hundreds of accounts that I was locked out of. I lost all of my domain names, all of my email accounts. My phone number's gone. Pretty much all of my digital assets that I had before I was arrested were all lost as a result of being in prison for so long. And so I have spent the time since I got out of prison until now. I'm going to go out there and say that I've recovered 85 to 90% of what was lost by making phone calls, by going through some pretty crazy processes of proving to these companies who I am and regaining access to things that I thought I had lost access to forever. And aside from all of that, I had to sort through the stuff that was at the apartment where I was released to, pack all of it up, get somebody to come up from Pittsburgh to put all of that property in storage, and figure out what I was going to keep in a backpack to carry with me while I'm homeless. And I'm doing all of this at the same time I'm maintaining and building this YouTube channel and all of the corresponding social media and other backup video accounts and everything associated with this. So, yeah. I'm a lazy piece of shit. That's all I am. I'm just a lazy, worthless piece of shit. Because that's what so many people want to tell me right now. Because I'm sitting around doing nothing since the day I got out of prison. I think the only thing that I could step up my game on right now, and I had reasons why I haven't, is if I go and fill out another 50 local job applications for jobs here in Jamestown, that'll probably get me 12 to 15 job interviews based on the ratio of applications to interviews that I got during the last blitz. So I'm not throwing in the towel. I'm not giving up. But I have to get somebody to say you're hired before I can get a job. People keep accusing me of just go out and get a job, you lazy piece of trash. And, I can't just go up to a tree here, reach up and grab a job off of a branch. It doesn't work like that. You have to go to a place where somebody meets you and says, hey, okay, you're hired. And that's happened twice so far, only to be told you're not hired on the day I'm supposed to show up. So, deep breath. If you sat through the video this long listening to my rants and warnings, maybe I can give you a solid tip or two. Some of these things come directly from your comments. Some of the topics that I'm talking about in these videos come directly from the things that you guys say in the comments. And one of the comments that somebody left, or maybe a few comments, were around maybe you should go directly to company websites instead of applying on LinkedIn or Indeed or these other job boards. And what I would say to that is that's very true. I do that. It depends on how fast I'm trying to do it. For general labor jobs, I'm going directly to the company websites. I'm not going to fill out a form on LinkedIn for a job at Burger King or go to Indeed.com for a job at Pizza Hut. I'll go to Pizza Hut's website and apply there. If I'm going to apply for a job at Walmart, I would go to the Walmart website and do that. Like, there's no reason to go to a job board to apply to a job like that. Go directly to the company. And if the company doesn't have a way to apply online, then go directly into the place. Go into the place and fill out an application. Talk to somebody in person. That's totally cool to do. As at places where you have to apply like that, they're used to people coming in all the time asking for an application or asking if they're hiring. That's totally cool. When you find a professional job, like a professional career-oriented job on a place like LinkedIn or Indeed or some other platform, if you have the time and you're not in speed mode where you're just trying to apply to as many as you can, look up the company website and see if the same job is still posted there. You might have a better time bypassing some of the hoops that you'd have to jump through if you apply to the job directly on the website. And those job applications that come directly from the website might land right in the hiring manager's lap, where LinkedIn or Indeed might send a link to the hiring manager, who then has to come in and scroll through the results. If you're applying directly, if you can get a hiring manager's direct email address, that's the best way to apply to a job. Email someone directly if you know they're looking for a job. If you can do enough homework to get that, because now you can prepare material to send directly to them, a PDF version of your resume that looks really nice, and you can do different things you can give yourself a notch above all of the applicants that are on Indeed.com that all look the same when the recruiter goes there to look. Here's another tip with recruiters. If a recruiter reaches out to you and you think they're a bad one, for whatever reason, you just don't have a good relationship out the gate, and you haven't signed any paperwork saying that they have the right to represent you for this job, if you haven't signed away any right to go after this job yourself and the recruiter doesn't seem to be helpful, take that job description that the recruiter sent you, take sections of it and copy and paste it into Google. You'd be amazed at how many times doing that results in you finding the company and finding the same job posting on that company website that the recruiter was trying to get you to apply to through them. And by applying to that job directly through a company website versus going through a bad recruiter, you might you might have a better chance of getting that job, because a lot of times companies don't want to deal with recruiters and they don't want to pay the finder's fees and the commissions that the recruiters get for hiring you. On the flip side, I would not do this with a good recruiter, because a good recruiter, a good technical recruiter, will get you through the door easier and faster than you can do on your own. And a good recruiter who negotiates on your behalf will typically get you more money than you would get negotiating for the job on your own. I can speak from experience for that. There has been a number of times where a recruiter went out and got me more money than I was probably going to get negotiating on my own. It's like having an agent. If you have a good recruiter, that's a good thing to have in your pocket. Sometimes companies will hire recruiters to fill positions without posting the job anywhere else, be it on their website or even the job boards. Sometimes they work out an exclusive deal with a recruiter or a staffing agency to get the jobs filled. And if the company chooses a reputable firm with good recruiters, they're saving themselves a lot of time and headaches offloading all of that work to the recruiters versus having to do the work themselves. And the recruiters are getting properly compensated when they place you with those companies. So I was telling you guys yesterday about how I had a bad experience with a recruiter who seemed a little bit shady. So I did the same thing. I took the information from the job description from the recruiter, and I found the job description, and it led me directly to the company that was looking for hiring the position. The recruiter was pretty sloppy when sending me the lead, and he left enough in there for me to find it. So anyway, I think in this case, if the recruiter had not told me that the job was on hold, I would have allowed the recruiter to submit my paperwork for the job and do that for me. But I had this real bad vibe about the guy after he told me that. But when I did the homework on my own, I found out that I think the guy was telling me the truth. I think that the job really was put on hold because the results came up in Google for the exact job title and the exact same job description that I was pasting into the form field to look for it. But then when I would go to the company website and search for the job, it was gone. So in that case, doing my homework actually showed me that maybe this recruiter wasn't as shady as I thought he was. So, but always, do your homework whenever you can. You might not have time to dig deep all the time when you get these leads, but it certainly pays off to do that. So I don't know how much time. I'm going to check on the time here because we're starting to run out of time. So I have some more stories to share and more tips and stuff to share, but I got to get ready to go do my social services busy work for the next 4 or 5 hours. So I'm going to stop this video and I'll just save the next story I was going to tell you for another day. I've got an endless supply, and hopefully today is a better day than yesterday. Hopefully I get some good news pretty soon because this is a roller coaster ride, man. There are some days where I'm really happy. You can see it in these videos. There's some days where I'm just in a joking mood. I'm happy. I'm in a good mood. Things are positive. And there are other days where I'm feeling down in the dumps. And I don't think that is something that would be abnormal for someone who's going through this. I'm not beating myself up over it. I'm just, I'm letting it show in the video because I want these videos to serve as a warning. And maybe I can help somebody. Maybe I can save one of you from going to federal prison, because maybe there are some of you out there who see what's going on and you want to run your mouth on social media. You want to post a mean, vicious tweet. You want to say something in a YouTube comment, and maybe I'm going to save somebody from taking it too far. And maybe I'm going to help one of you not end up in the situation that I'm in. And maybe, just maybe, I'll find a way out of this mess. Lord willing. I am not going to find a way out of this mess. I got to correct myself over and over again. Maybe God, through the power of his Son, Lord Jesus Christ, will help me find a way out of this mess and show me a path to a better tomorrow. And then this video series will serve as a testament to what that faith in God can bring forth. That is what I'm trying to do here. And so, yeah, I got ranty, I got mad, I swear. I'm a sinner. Everybody who walks around this earth right now sins. God has forgiven us for it. I swear too much. I can tell you I've slipped a few times in these videos and I just let it go. Before I was arrested, every other word out of my mouth was the F-bomb. Even if I were doing YouTube videos, every other word, F this, F that, mother effing this, mother effing that, F, F-D, F, 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 F. And, in my line of work and the people I work with, it's just, that's the way people talk now. It's crazy. Because now I hear it. Because now I'm trying to get that out of my life. I'm trying to purge that from my life. But like I said, I can't do it on my own. God helps me. I am definitely swearing and cursing a heck of a lot less than I ever used to. And it gets better over time. I've noticed it over the last several months that I've been kind of focusing on it and praying about it. But then I go down this rabbit hole of being, of just, worrying about things, getting, uptight, irritated, those kinds of things, and it just starts coming out. God keeps telling me not to worry. Yesterday, when I found out that I walked all the way to that job for nothing, there were knots in my stomach, and I was sick to my stomach. I had just gotten a bite to eat, and I couldn't eat. My stomach was in knots. I felt, so many things going through my mind, trying to forgive people that I just want to let go of the feelings that I have towards certain people and all of these different things swirling around. And I'm not supposed to worry. No matter what happens, God doesn't want you to worry. He's putting me to the test every day. But what I do notice is that, my stomach was in knots. I was worried. I was just feeling awful yesterday about having to walk all the way to that job for nothing. And an hour later, 2 hours later, I'm sitting at the library with my laptop and I'm jamming through job applications. I'm doing all kinds of things that I needed to get done. I'm talking to people. I'm getting, I got the videos published. I didn't think I was going to. I did 4 or 5 hours worth of solid work, and all the worry was gone. I felt good at the end of the day. I wasn't worried. I woke up this morning. I felt angry. I felt worried. The worry, it starts out as worry and it turns into anger. The Star Wars movies talk about this. That's how Anakin Skywalker turned into Darth Vader, because he started out fearful about things that were going to happen, and then that turned into anger, which led to the dark side. I mean, this is just what Yoda said would happen. So it's the same thing in our lives. The more you worry about stuff, the more that worry will turn into anger and bitterness and resentment and all these other negative feelings. But I find that the more I pray about it and the more I ask God to help take it away from me, I notice that these moments of bitterness, these moments of anxiety, these moments of anger, they come and go. They come and go. Even in the situation where I'm a homeless ex-con that can't even get a job at Burger King, and I have no idea what to do or where I'm going to live, and I don't even know what city I'm going to be forced to live in right now. And I think that would be enough to drive anybody crazy. Yet, these moments, these waves of frustration, they come, and they can be intense. But within an hour, I can shake them off. I'm already shaking off what I felt at the beginning of this video just by sitting here for the last half hour. And I guarantee you, within a half hour from now, I'll be fine. I'm probably going to face new challenges. I'm going to go through a whole smorgasbord of hoops to jump through today, and I'm going to have plenty of reasons to get upset, but I feel like I'm through the worst of what I'm going to feel today. God's helping me. He really is. I can't explain it any better than that, but it's not like he's just going to snap his fingers and you're going to be a completely different person. This is something that you have free will, so that means you have to do the work, and you have to work on it, and you have to show up to the table and be willing to let God work in your life and ask him to work in your life. He's not just going to force himself on you. So with that, Hopefully there's something in this video that was worth watching. Once again, the YouTube thing, hit the like button, the subscribe, all you trolls who made it this far, make sure you dump your comments off. I got some good ones yesterday, and I blasted a couple of you in return. It's fun. Let's see. You can support this channel by going up to donate.litgood.com and shop.litgood.com. And let's see, you can find me in other ways. People are popping up on my LinkedIn. People are popping up on my email. People are subscribing to my newsletter that I'm never sending out. If you go to my website at litgood.com and sign up for the free wallpaper, fill out the form, you'll add your email address to my mailing list, of which I might send an email out once every 3 months on that thing. And just invite you to come to the shop, check out the videos, and, just whatever at this point. If I add a few new photographs to the store, maybe I'll just send you all an email. If I come up with something, free for you guys to download, or, some information or whatever, I'll have a way to contact you all. If I get kicked off, I would suggest going to litgood.com and filling out that form, because if I ever get kicked off of YouTube, I'll make an announcement on there as to where you can come and pick up where we left off. Other than that, I hope you all have a good day. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Thank you to the trolls for watching and making my numbers go up. You're all cool in my book. Peace out. Later.